I thought this is really funny. This is not a toy, so this is a 14 and over action figure, so not a toy. Hi guys, this is Fo. My brother asked me to pick up Mandarin Spawn, and these are only Walmart exclusive. They're part of the Gold label, and so you're probably wondering what the heck is the Gold label. It's actually Todd McFarlane's new kind of sub line. And it's supposed to be, according to Todd McFarlane, it's supposed to be pretty limited. But when I went to the store, they had like maybe 6 or 7 of each one of these. So I'm assuming once those 6 or 7 sells out, it's game over for those who's looking for them. I didn't pick up the Batman one. There's 3 in this first wave. There's the Witcher, Mandarin Spawn, and Batman, which, like I said, I didn't pick up Batman. There was just really, let's face it, Todd McFarlane, they make like 100 Batman's figures. I know that they sell, but somebody like me, I'm not really interested in another Batman figure. I don't think anyone is, but you know, like I said, apparently it sells because people buy them. Okay, so what else? Like I said, these are Walmart exclusive, and yeah, so I'm looking forward to more Gold label if they come out. I think there is a different variant color to the Witcher, so just for the Walmart one, it might be this particular color scheme. I'm not sure about the Mandarin Spawn, but I'm assuming he's probably gonna get another repaint for a different retailer. For example, if there are, say, Amazon exclusive, he could be colored a different color. Maybe for Target, they can color him red because, you know, Target is red. That kind of thing. So, yeah. I'm going to kind of open them up, and my brother won't mind if we open him up because I'm just going to put him right back in the box. As far as he's concerned, it's never been open. But oh yeah, by the way, so I went to Walmart today just to look for these Mandarin Spawn, and I'm glad I did because I also came out with a Hand Ninja, which I've been looking for this guy. There are 2 of them, and I left one of them on the rack, but so I took this one. But yeah, I mean, I was gonna open them up anyway, so I really don't care about the package damage or anything, and there really doesn't appear to be any damage at all. So anyway, I'm glad to have them. I know these guys are kind of harder to find because they're considered army builders, and people, like greedy people, they like to buy 10 of these or something. I don't know, it's stupid. They should just buy one, be content with it, but whatever. You know, people, it's their money, so I guess if they want 5 or 6 of these, that's their life. But, you know, one is fine for me. Yeah. Alright, so here they are out of the box. They do both come with the stand. I've put the Witcher on his stand. But for the Spawn, we're just gonna take a look at it without him standing. He'll need a stand because he will topple over. As you can see, I'm really impressed with this wrist articulation. He can hold the sword like with his hand tilted all the way up, like that. It's like on a ball joint, so it's really cool. What else? So yeah, a little history on Todd McFarlane. When he first started penciling for Marvel, I was buying his Spider-Man stuff, and then around issue 300 or 350 or how long it took, you know, Todd McFarlane on that run, he left Marvel at the height of its popularity to form Image Comics, and from there he created Spawn. And Spawn actually was originally just a black guy who made a deal with the devil. It's kind of like a false story. But you find out that throughout the years there's been other Spawn, and my favorite Spawn is actually medieval Spawn. But this one, the Mandarin Spawn, is actually part of you know, part of the long line of Spawn lineages. And yeah, I don't follow all the story, but I know that you know, a little history on the Spawn character, at least why this version exists. As you can see, the Spawn logo on his head, that's really nicely painted, and everything's actually really nicely painted. Really detail on the sculpt in there. I mean, this is all sculpted, and then the paint is pretty good too. I mean, for a mass retail toy, this is pretty decent. Even the weapon, which is like a traditional like Chinese weapon, I mean, this is painted green. I mean, they didn't really have to do that. They could have left it white or whatever. But the gold, I really like that. And then even on this, you see the little Spawn logo there. Yeah, it looks really good. I mean, he does look kind of funky just because how skinny he is. And then he also has like that like long like horn on there that's just asymmetrical, that just kind of drives me nuts. It's definitely a Todd McFarlane design. And anyway, yeah, this face in the chest area, yeah, it's a really good, interesting looking figure that pretty much only Todd McFarlane would design. Such a weird figure. Yeah, so overall, like, I didn't pick up this guy. This is my brother's toy, actually. So, yeah, I mean, he definitely is very interested in owning this. I'm not, because I'm not even that big of a Spawn fan. I just think it's really interesting, though. If they made a medieval Spawn, you know what, I'll definitely jump on that. If they release that for the next gold label, I'm on board. All right, let's take a look at The Witcher. Now, I'm not too crazy about that face sculpt. It kind of looks like Gerard, but I don't know. It also doesn't. So he has that scar on his face. This chainmail I'm not too crazy about. Now he has two swords, and if you play the video game, you know that one of the swords is used for slaying monsters, and the other sword is for humans. So I think this is the human sword. The human sword is always a little smaller. I think the monster sword is much bigger, and you can store them on his back there. So that's really nice. And then this thing here is just very soft plastic, so you don't, this hook, you don't have to worry about hurting yourself, though I wish it was a little harder. He does not come with extra hands, which I appreciate, because these are gripping hands, and if they'd given us like regular hands and then gripping hand and then a fisty hand, I would have, you know, removed all of them and just kept this set of hands, because you know, don't really care for extra hands. I mean, what do you do with them when you are not using them? I mean, what do you do with extra hands? You know, you just basically store them. And I do have bins and bins of like just extra hands and heads and all sorts of body parts that I'm never going to use. So I do appreciate that they give you the option, but for me, I really don't care. So I do like that they just don't have extra hands, just two grippy hands, and that's it. Again, really a really fantastic figure. I'm just not crazy about the head sculpt. But yeah, I think also there are different color variants. I might try to track down the other ones, or maybe not just different color, but maybe perhaps instead of a sword you get a, I saw one where he's holding two heads, so maybe it comes with an extra accessories or whatever. Yeah, I'm not crazy about the head sculpt, but otherwise this is a fine Witcher. And if you watch the TV show, which they made, there's a lot of nudity in there, and it's actually a very bold direction. And the actress that is constantly always nude, man, it is full frontal, like all the way, like it's just wow. I mean, she's not ashamed of her body. She really loves showing it off, and she has a great body. Anyway, so yeah, The Witcher, I am looking forward to season 2, and the first season is very good, in my opinion. It's very good. Some people find it hard to follow because of the different timeline, but if you pay attention, you would catch on what time period they're in. And maybe it's because I play the game, I kind of understood a lot of that lore as well. So maybe that helps. If you play the game, it probably helps. And Henry Cavill, who plays the Witcher, fantastic. So I hope season two is just as good as the first season. And also I hope there's a lot of nudity in season two as well. Anyway, yeah, it's coming out pretty soon, I hope. Alright, so as a bonus, here's the hand ninja, and he's red. And a little history on the hand ninja. It's a Frank Miller creation, kind of, because he had a run on Daredevil, and he started introducing more of the Eastern element, like the ninjas and stuff like that. And Elektra came out of this. Stick, who trained Daredevil, came out of this. And Stick was fighting against the hand ninjas, and the hand ninja is so popular that in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, which basically rip off Frank Miller stuff, their version was called the Foot Soldier, and so they're definitely, obviously, a parody of the hand ninja. Now, I kind of wanted this guy just because I like Frank Miller, but also I like the whole ninja stuff, and also I was hoping it goes well with my G.I. Joe Classified line, which I am not collecting anymore because the Cobra Island stuff is just impossible to find, and if I can't find them, I just won't collect the line. And it got to a point where I don't really care anymore. I do have one more Classified figure coming to me, but I've already paid for it. So basically, you know, if I hadn't paid for it, I would just let it go, because it's come to a point where I don't think it's the scalpers that's buying them and reselling them with the Cobra Island stuff. Sure, there are some scalpers out there that's probably doing that, but I think the majority of it is just fanatic fans who want these G.I. Joe Classified. And it became very apparent that Hasbro is the problem. They send 6 figures to a store and that sells out instantly, because if you're not there at 8 a.m. or whenever the store opens, you're not going to get one. So people like me and people like just regular fans who work or has to have, basically would never be able to find the Cobra Island stuff because they're just not available. I mean, they just don't make enough of them. Anyway, so it's purely a Hasbro problem. Maybe Target is also to blame because, you know, but Hasbro is the one providing the figures, and if they only provide 6 figure per store, that's just not enough for all the demand out there. Anyway, so that's a long-winded story, but we can take a look at the Red Ninja and the Hand Ninja. So I was hoping to have him kind of as like an extra background G.I. Joe character, but it's kind of apparent to me that between the two, they're different sculptors or something, because this is more based on, so the Hand Ninja is more based on the Into the Spider-Verse kind of animated style, so he looks kind of almost goofy and long, while the Red Ninja looks more serious. And so yeah, maybe I'll pop out the heads and swap the head and see how that works out. Okay, so I swapped out the heads, but as you can see, they don't really fit, and it's just very strange because they're manufactured by Hasbro makes both of these. So so yeah, his joint is really kind of doesn't fit very well, and also when I put it on, it stands really tall because it doesn't fit all the way in. This one is pretty loose as well, I think. Yeah, it's so the one thing is I feel like the Red Ninja is slightly shorter than the Hand Ninja, and I think maybe, like I said, it's based on that you know, Spideyverse design, so maybe, you know, it's tall and lanky. But yeah, I'm actually having the Red Ninja hold one of his extra weapon. He doesn't have storage for these other weapons, so I kind of put him on his little belt or whatever, but it doesn't really stay very well. With the hand ninja, I feel like most you can probably store most of his weapon on him. So that's one of the really cool thing about the classified series that I really enjoy. But yeah, unfortunately, like I said, I've stopped collecting the classified line. So hopefully, when they make G.I. Joe more available to like just the public. So here's the sad thing is I saw old videos of like 1991 era of Toys R Us and KB Toys and all those toy stores, and you can walk into any of those stores and see tons and tons of like action figures, like like 20 of these guys, 20 of the Ninja Turtles, 20 of the whatever, I mean, and they're like the whole store had toys in it. And you look at today's market in 2021, and the only place you can really go to is Walmart or Target, where the toy section is dramatically reduced to 2 or 3 aisle. For boys' toys, it's just basically one aisle. And the sad thing is, when I was getting the Witcher, they had a maximum maybe 6 figures in that store, and I know that after that sells out, that you might not be able to ever find that figure again. When if you look at the old days, the good old days, that would have been like the whole section that would have been just Witcher stuff, which is basically maybe like say 20 figures versus just the 6 that they had at the Walmart. But again, it's a different story now, and also I feel kids are definitely not buying these action figures. It's definitely adults that's buying them. People who grew up watching the G.I. Joe cartoon are buying these, but not, no. Maybe some kid might watch Into the Spideyverse and say, oh, I want that red ninja, hand ninja, whatever. Maybe there's a couple of those, but I think the majority of the people are adults, and it's sad because you see what kids are buying. It is not these. They're buying like Rayblade. They're buying Pokemon. They're buying kid stuff. They're buying like stuff that they watch on YouTube, which I find really fascinating because there is really no market. There's no market for GI Joe. I mean, when's the last time you saw GI Joe on the cartoon? There's no advertisement for these either. So how are kids supposed to find out about these? Because they're not. And yeah, definitely these are adults. And anyway, it's just a sad state of affairs.